All right, let's pray to God to hope that He brings more people here for salvation. Oh, I see a thumbs up, but nobody there. That's funny. Oh, now the person's there. All right. So, how you guys doing today? Yeah, we're going. We still have some work to do on this salvation. Okay, so that's what we're doing today. It's about salvation. It was a long. Should probably put me off there. Back where I was. Okay, so Psalm 62:7. In God is my salvation and my glory, the rock of my strength, and my refuge is in God. Okay. So salvation, how you guys doing, man? How you doing, Lisa? How you doing, Mark? So God is my salvation. God and Jesus. Salvation, his salvation. That's Jesus. Okay. So I'm going to come back here. We're going to have a look at what's going on. Oh, me and my sister kind of had a rough day yesterday. Not being tested, some stuff happened in my family that to me was, I don't know. I can't even explain it. Little kids running around with demons in them, 9 years old. Okay, and she threatened my life if I try to teach them Jesus. Don't come around here teaching Jesus stuff because I'll come there and kick you in the head. Well, first of all, your leg can't go past your knee, so you're not going to do that. But anyways, I digress. I don't want to talk about it, right? So I don't want to talk about people behind them, but like Alaska earthquakes, alien sinkhole. Let's watch that one. Just wait for the commercial here and then skip it. Let's giant it. Look at that, eh? Lots of dreams coming too, eh? Mark, my friend there, Jesus is King guy. He's my best friend, and he's getting a lot of dreams about water. sick and tired of living with disgusting nail polish that pay close attention. Lots of stuff on here comes from Texas, eh? Okay, those are just storms. Nothing big about those. Oh. Oh, there's those that just fell in the water. Huge sinkhole. Wow. Oh, look at the size of that sinkhole. That's huge. Well, I got a swimming pool in my backyard. Big sinkhole just everywhere coming out. You know, Mike talked about that. He said there'll be some pretty big sinkholes coming. Wow. It's a big sinkhole. Are those cracks there? No, that's just trees. what's going on. Can you hear me now? It's going up. Yeah, you can hear me now. Can you hear me? Wow, all I had to do was touch my thing and there it was, right? So Mark 8:35, so for whosoever will save his life shall lose his life, but who that loses life for the sake of the gospel, the same shall save it. Okay, that's an old one. We know that. You were to die to Christ. You were to die for the people that you were trying to help. Okay, lay down your life so you can pick it up later. Okay, for Job 19:25, for I know that my Redeemer liveth, that he shall stand at the latter day upon the earth. So that's Jesus. He will stand on this in the latter day. Well, I do believe that's coming really soon, according to Steve Quayle and to me and to Mark. We feel that kind of stuff, right? So I feel that he's getting near because my deliverance is getting nearer. I'm coming closer to him and doing less sin every day than I was. And you know, I take it very seriously when the devil crosses my path and he gets into my mind and he starts talking to me. I say, look what happened to me the last times that I sinned. I hate sinning because I really pay for it, okay? And I hold that, it holds me on, and I don't want to sin, all right? Okay, so Isaiah 44:22. I have blotted out as a thick cloud thy transgressions. As a cloud, thy sins return unto me, for I have redeemed thee. Wow, I was just kind of talking about that. He's blotted out my thy transgression. As a cloud, thy sins return unto me, but I say no. Okay, your sin is never going to leave you. It's always there for the rest of your life. Yeah, Mark had a dream about water. He was standing on a bridge and he saw the water coming towards the bridge, and it was as high as the bridge, okay? So, look at all these water events going on. Some of the dreams that we have aren't pertain to us, they're pertain to what's coming. Okay? So they're not telling us. We live nowhere really near water here in Edmonton, but he's having dreams from other spots of the world that is telling him. When we get a dream, we're to tell it out, right? But we don't tell it out any different than it's given to us. We don't add to it or take from it. Oh, it's really nice when people come into the channel and they give themselves to Christ. I hope that for that every day. Hebrews 5:9. And being made perfect, he became the author and the eternal salvation unto them that obey him. Obedience. The Holy Spirit is reserved for the obedient, okay? So being obedient is so important, and you get better at it every day. It's not going to happen. Oh, I did tell him that one, Mark, about the one that me and Mark were in heaven together in a beautiful cab. Well, the cabin looked ugly on the outside, but on the inside it was beautiful. And at the end, we were building a little cabin, and we I was drawing God's name on the side of the of of that little cabin that we were made at the end. Okay, so like, what's the sense of you being beautiful on the outside if your inside is dirty? So work on the inside first. Okay. The outside doesn't even matter to me anymore. It matters on my inside. Okay. And I'm constantly every day I'm I'm looking through what I did yesterday. I'm repenting for that and I'm trying to get better every day. Okay. So and that's what happens with you. See, God gave us to Jesus to clean us, right? And that's what he's doing. We're washing our coats in the blood of the Lamb right now. So I can't wait till that video comes to me. Oh, yeah. Isaiah 52:7. How beautiful upon the mountains are thy feet of him that bringeth good tidings. E- The publisheth peace that bringeth good tidings of good. The publisheth of salvation that saith unto Zion, thy God reigneth. Okay. He's reigning over my life right now. He's totally cleaning it up. Every day we sin, okay? Whether it be talking about someone or swearing or doing little things. So we look at that and we go, tomorrow, when we wake up the next day, we go, listen, I don't want to do that today. How can I better that today? So salvation is it's an ongoing thing. It just doesn't come to you. It just doesn't land in your pocket when you give yourself to God or in Jesus. It's a work. And that work that he's doing with us, you'll see that work in due time. I see it every day in my life. Okay. Isaiah 57:15. For thus saith the high and the lofty one that inhabiteth eternity, whose name is holy. I dwell in the high and holy place with him. Mm. You see, I do. I don't like this world. We have a beautiful day here outside. It's like plus 30, and I'd rather be inside teaching. Whereas the old me would be, oh, I got a motorbike. Let's go see what I can do with it today. I don't really care about my brand new motorbike. It sits and it sits and it sits. I have to go clean it, change its oil and everything else. I'll wait till Sunday and I'll do that. With him also that is contrite and humble spirit, to revive the spirit of the humble. So when you're humbling yourself in the sight of the Lord, he will revive you. He will uh, openly reward you when you pray to him in secret. Okay, he's done lots of that with me. We have to be humble and meek. That's one of the attributes of God, is being humble. Okay, so admitting your problems, admitting your wrongs, not putting your finger on the other person, on somebody else, and trying to blame. That's what happened to me yesterday. And simply all I did was say what God told me to say, and getting threatened, right? And I'm humble. I didn't want to toss anything back at them because I'm not into adding gasoline on a fire. It doesn't work. Doesn't put it out. Makes it grow. So humble yourself in the sight of the Lord. All your sins that you've done in your life, you have to humble yourself on your knees to God. Pray to God in secret, and he will reward you openly. Humble yourself to other people. When people are casting stones at you, be humble by all means. My sister Wendy saw me do that yesterday. That's what I do. We're not here to put out fires with gasoline. So to revive the spirit of the humble, and to revive the heart of the contrite ones. Psalms 80:19. Turn us again, O Lord of hosts, cause thy face to shine, as we shall be saved. Psalms 3:8. Salvation belongeth unto the Lord. Thy blessing is upon thy people. Psalm 62:6 or 62:2. He is my rock, my salvation. He is my defense. I shall not be greatly moved. So that's what's happening now. The sin comes into my mind and I just flash it out. No, I'm not going to do that. I've gotten better at it. Okay. every time I give myself over to little sins on purpose, he gives you over to a reprobate mind. That means you're going to go, oh, it's okay to do that sin. I have salvation. No, it's not. You're willfully sinning. The times that I've sinned, I always get caught in it and I do it. Okay. I'm not going and planning to do that sin, thinking you're going to get away from it. You're not. You're going to reap what you sow here on this earth because you can't in heaven, right? We're even to give the word to the evil people, even though they're spitting in your face. You're still to teach them. If they deny it, you shake the dust off your boots. It'd be better for them to be of Sodom and Gomorrah than that, okay? Because they've done unto you, which they've actually done unto Jesus. So we have to be careful for that. Our brother is our most important person on this earth. We got to be careful what we're saying. We got to try to be humble even to them. Whether they're spitting in your face or kicking you, try to be humble. Don't anger them further. Okay? It's not gonna fix this. It's not gonna fix the problem, by the way. It's just gonna add to your problems. Because now you're doing to your brother. If they're doing to you, that's one thing. They will pay for that down the road. Maybe tomorrow, maybe right after. For me, because I'm a teacher, if I'm sinning, what good am I to help you guys come to the Lord? So I always think about the people I'm teaching. Oh, I'm doing the sin and I'm teaching people. What a hypocrite I am. Here I am teaching people, yet I'm behind the scenes sinning. Not good. Okay, we're the light of this world. Uh, okay, so Titus 3:5, not by the works of righteousness which have done, but according to his mercy he saved us, by the washing and the regeneration and the renewing of the Holy Ghost. Okay. So we're washing our coats clean right now. I'm like spitting out evil that comes in my head instantly now. Because I keep meditating on the Lord day and night, praying to the Lord, trying to teach others, not stabbing my brother in the back, yet he's stabbing me in the back, being humble to the Lord and teaching people. He's helping me, he's guiding me, he's walking with me every day. Okay. Every day I do that. And then when I stumble, I go through this like chastening from God. It's hardcore on me when I do something wrong. Okay. So we can sin any day. But the stronger you get through Jesus, you will get stronger along the way. Don't give up on everything. We have to endure this hellhole that we live on every day. It's not hell yet, but it will be soon. The darkness is coming down and up upon the earth that's going to cause people to have heart attacks. They don't even know how close we are. And the people that are teaching, oh, everything's good, it's going to get better. That's prosperity teaching. When I hear that through teachers, I'm out of there because that's not how it works. It's been getting worse since the starting of the foundations of the world. God is renting out this world right now to Satan. He's coming to take it back, and he's taking them off of it. And he's going to give some people mercy and grace. And we're going to go out, we're going to be in our spiritual form, and they're going to see us in that form soon enough. Okay. Micah 7:7. Therefore I will look on the Lord. I will wait for God of my salvation. My God will hear me. So it's not like he doesn't hear. And can you imagine being God and listening to millions of people at one time? And how much he's burdened and long suffering, right? We have family, we have people we know that are going through troubles. and it's long suffering us. But that's nothing. God has the whole world on his shoulder. He's got the whole world in his hand. I could even imagine people say, well, I'd like to be like Jesus. Would you really? Are you strong enough? No, you're not strong enough to be like Jesus. Through him, we get our strength, right? And he hears you when you cry out to him. Yesterday I was crying out for some of my family to him. They're not hearing, and they're ignoring it, and they're spitting my face. But you know what? I have nothing against them. I hold nothing against them because my father's not going to hold nothing against me. Yeah, and it's hard to be like Jesus right now. This is the hardest time because the scoffers and mockers, eh? The ones that you think that love you, but you know they don't. Okay. I have lots of those around me, but I don't hate them, for they know not what they do, right? So what good is it going to be for you to hate them? Hate isn't of God. God is love. He's not hate. Love is a power, and hate is a power, and anger is a power, but not a good one. All that's going to do is bring more to your doorstep. Try to stay away from that and judging. Uh, you're going to be judged if you judge. All right. So I wonder where Junior Pre is. Um, Mike was telling us this morning. I saw his. He did one from Mike around the world and put it on YouTube. Be very careful, because I've gotten kicked off of YouTube for using Mike before. Ask Praise Jesus is King, and Mike doesn't want us to live any of his stuff anymore. That's why I do it on Mixler. He does his on Mixler, and I do mine on Mixler. But Junior, let's try not to do that with Mike from around the world on YouTube anymore, because you might get a copyright strike, right? So I'm just telling you that. That's why I don't do my Mike from around the world on COD anymore. Okay. So Lisa, did you make a Facebook? It's not a big rush, and I'm not rushing everybody to doing this. But when that comes out, I want to watch it, and I want you guys to watch it with me when I get it that day. Okay. So I want to make sure everybody has gotten their Facebook accounts ready. Whether you have to make a new one. Okay, that's okay. And I'm not rushing, Lisa. I need to know what your name is, because I need to go. Well, if it's not Lisa, it's some other girl. I don't want to accept it, because I'm getting ones from women all the time. And then I go into it and they're selling sex, free sex. Call this these dating site things. I get them all the time, so I don't know who is who on Facebook, and I just delete those, right? I don't do much on Facebook at all. I just spread the gospel. And I don't care if somebody calls me down on Facebook, I just move the page on. Okay. 1 Peter 2:9. But ye are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood. So you're royal. This generation here has been put, God's people that are here have been put here for this special time. We're to be given, like this morning, I did one, meat in due season. There's so many that ignore my channel, even the loved ones. They like my teachings, but they don't like the truth of it because they don't do it, right? And kudos to them. It's nothing. I'm not going against them. Not kudos to them, but I'm not going against them. I'm trying to help them with their salvation. And if you're not giving meat in due season, you're not going anywhere. Okay? You're not going with God. Yeah. I'm like super pumped up for it, man. You did watch the Steve Quayle one on my YouTube, and It's mind-blowing. This is going to cause everything to happen sooner. And this is why I always say it's coming sooner than even we think. That means than I think. Okay. Wow, I was thirsty. So you're a royal priesthood. We're going to judge the angels. It says we judge the angels. We're going to be judging them for what they've did to us and our generations of family. We're the ones that get to judge them, by the way. And I can't wait to grab Satan by the ring of his neck as I'm punching him over and over into the pit. God actually showed me that as a dream, but not quite like that. I came back with the horses and I went into a catacomb and I'm like, Lord, what am I here for? And it was automatic. Up came a demon. I popped his head. One, and I put my mouth, I sucked out his soul. Okay. Pure light, right? Killeth the darkness, right? Darkness can't kill light. That's totally impossible. If there's light there, darkness cannot have affiliation with it. So it's the same thing with us. Every time I have affiliation with dark, some of the dark comes back on me. Okay. But when you're strong enough, it's like you can brush it off. I'm starting to learn that. Okay. I'm getting better at it. So we're a royal priesthood, a holy nation, peculiar people that should we show forth the praises of him who have called you out of darkness and into the marvelous light. So we're all born into the darkness, and some people are dark. Okay, I see the ones God shows me, but that's not for me to go around saying this person's dark, this person's dark. No, he doesn't give you that for that to go and stomp them even worse. It's called kicking someone when they're already down. Okay. So if they're in the darkness, don't throw more over top of their head. Don't throw the dirt on their grave more on them. So God is kind to the evil as well. So we should be too, thinking of they're going to be in ever darkness. How do I get this guy out of there? And I try to do everything to do it. And if they turn me down, it's not me that they're turning down. So who cares? Who cares what they do? My sister Melody was faced with a lot yesterday, and she tried to her hardest ability to not get angry, and that was one of her worst sins, right? She's bipolar, but she's coming out of it. She did everything the girl, and it's funny how Satan uses these other people to bring the worst out in us. Okay. And it happened to her. But today she dusted her feet off and she wants to continue with Christ. That's enduring. We're to endure all the hardships that are coming on us. Because when we're with God in our holy place finally and out of this body, you're not going to endure nothing. So I live through pain every day. I can barely walk some days, but I'm just glad that I'm here. Okay. And God's testing me with my pain. I don't complain about it. I'm not complaining about it. Bring it on. If I'm in pain, I'm in pain. That's what Jesus said. He said you're going to go through these things. Okay. He said they hated me, they're going to hate you. I can totally see that. Okay. But whatever you say about me, I'm not casting any stones back at you. You can go ahead and cast all the ones you want. Stephen was out, uh, and Paul, by the way, took part in Stephen's death. Saul, or no, not. How come I got that wrong? Paul. Okay, before he was Paul, he was Saul, right? And he took part in a lot of Christians' deaths too. And they were stoning Stephen out by a tree, and the light was coming. They saw the light coming out of him while they were doing it. And he asked Jesus and God not to charge them of that sin while they were killing him. Okay, so that's pretty incredible. Psalms 34:6. The poor man cried, and the Lord heard him and saved him out of his troubles, out of his trials and tribulations. We're going to be saved out of that pretty soon. Okay. I'd hope I'd be one that escapes all that, but that's what's happening with the people that are dying. They're keeping these things to come. So if someone loses their child, don't cast rocks and stones and blasphemy at God. It's better. Their afterlife, man, they're not going to go through this. He's saving them from the troubles to come. Psalms 31:15. My times are in thy hand. Deliver me from the hand of my enemies and from them that persecute me. And he's going to do that. He's going to deliver us from all of the ones that are doing this to us. Don't add gas on the fire. Okay. Just walk away from it. I know how tough it is. I used to have a lot of anger in me too. I had tons of anger in me. Okay. So now I don't anger easy. Even when people say, oh, if you preach that Jesus stuff around here, I'm going to kick you in the face. Go ahead. You're just half of them are just talk anyway. They're just threatening because they don't have Jesus. Should feel sorry for them that they don't have Jesus. They're naked. Okay. They don't have the coat and the armor that Jesus gives us. That's why we put our Ephesians 6:14 every day on. Our armor of God, especially in this time. You're to put that armor on. That's what it's for. It's like your Bible is your sword, and He gives you the armor. These are our tools we need to be using. They help you. Every time I forget to put my armor on is when I'm getting a lot of fiery darts. Okay. And you're to face your issues. You're not to turn backwards. Your armor's on the front of you, by the way. You know why? Because Jesus has got your back. He showed me that in dreams. Okay. 1 John 4:4. You are of God, little children, and you have to overcome them, because greater is He that is in you than he that is in the world. We will overcome everything. By the time Jesus comes back, we're not going to have spot or wrinkle, because you can't even stand in front of Jesus, by the way. So a lot of people have that wrong. There is going to be a little bit left in you, and that's to abase in you. That is the thorn in Jesus's crown. Okay. He will take that thorn. He'll pluck it up by the roots and raise you up on the last day. Right. So Psalm 79:9. Help us, O God of our salvation, for the glory of thy name, and deliver us and purge away our sins for thy name's sake. So people, he's purging it out of you now. And sometimes you're going to do it, that sin. But you're gonna feel bad about it. He's gonna chase you about it. You're gonna go through some stuff, and even requires some blood sometimes of you, some bleeding. Like I explained what happened with me. I couldn't go to the washroom for 3 months, and it was dripping out of me, out of the bottom. Okay, so I reaped what I sown. Right, I got punished. Right, that's over and gone. It's written on the wall. I don't blame God. I don't say it's everything is our fault. We have the will to choose what we do. We choose our sin. Nobody's going to force it on you. You're going to do it yourself. So he's purging us. It's like in the fire. 7 times gold has to be gone through the fire to get out the impurities of metal 7 times. Some of us have to be purged a lot more of things. Okay. So that's what's been happening with me. I don't know if you guys have recognized that's what should be happening with you too. Each time you do something, you're getting a little more purged, right? What's this one? Mark 8:34. And when he called the people unto him, which is disciples also, he said unto them, whosoever will come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross and follow me. You're not worthy if you don't take up your cross and follow you. He's taking up your cross as your old stuff and following him. The burdens of all the stuff that you've done is never going to leave your mind. It's there to remind you why I don't want that old man. You're to die to that old man, to the flesh daily, because we're making a new one with Jesus that we're going to have. So die to it. Say no to it. Yeah, resist Satan and he will flee. If you accept what he does, you're in trouble. If you're one of the Lord's child, if you're a child of God, you're going to go through something. You're going to reap it, okay? And with me, it's instant. It's not a week or 2 days later, or an hour even later. It's instantly. I'm on my hands and knees crying out to the Lord. And then I suffer for a day or two, and then I move on. Okay. It used to be I suffer a week. Before that, it used to be I suffered a month. Okay. I wasn't really feeling up to teaching today, but the Lord said, that's your job. That's what you got to do. That's doing the will of my Father. Okay. That's what I'm into doing, is the will of my Father, not my will. My will's no good. My will means nothing to him. My will only causes trouble. All right. So I ask him to lead and guide me every day as well. Because you're not, it's not for you anymore. You're working for the Lord. Once you gave yourself to Jesus, you're now doing his works. Okay. So when you're denying yourself, you're denying your old man. You're saying no to go and yes to be blessed. You're saying no to him and yes to him more and more and more. We're being washed. And that's what's happening with me. And I give God the glory every day. It's not my glory that I'm getting better. I don't have the solutions. I have a doctor. His name is Jesus. I have a psychologist. His name is Jesus. I have a physician. His name is Jesus. I wouldn't go to a psychologist. Now, with with someone that has a demon, you go to a psychologist, is that going to get rid of that demon? No, it's not. It will surface again, especially in this times. The poor little guy was going, Grandma, something told me in my head to do that sin. He's 9 years old. I'm like, wow, that's a demon talking to him. I told my sister that your little grandson and your grandchildren are full of demons. That you need to come to the Lord. And she threatened to kick me in the head when I was trying to help them. You can't, if they're denying your help, then you're to shake the dirt off your feet and go to the next house and use that for a witness. Use that evil situation for a witness. Not put names. And not, I feel bad. These little ones, they got just like seven. She has 7 grandchildren, and each and every one of them have demons, and they're like anywhere from 4 to like 9 or 10, 11. And they all have demons, and they're not getting a chance. Their moms are denying Christ for them, and that's the only way they can be healed from that. And they don't get a chance because of their mums. Their mums are the stumbling blocks. They're what causing their kids to burn in hell. And I pray that God saves them kids. Somehow God's got to interfere. It's gone way too far. And I can't, because I just get threatened. So something has to happen to those 2 mothers so that they see maybe we do need God. Okay. A poor kid, the whole school knows about what he did. He's crying and bawling. I wouldn't want to go through that. That's at 9 years old. He has a demon that's called Legion in him at 9 years old. God's hand is off of him at 9. Same with me. That was the same age. 8 for me, actually. God's hand came off me. Didn't mean he wasn't with me. It just means it was time to go through all the sins that I went through and all the deviant stuff and the evil stuff that I did. It's time to go and get beaten up by Satan for quite a while. I need a drink before I realized to come back to God 6 years ago. My whole entire life because of that. So, and they don't have all that time left. And I seen another teacher saying, we need to teach for our next generation. I don't believe this. We are the final generation. Why are you teaching that stuff? Because you don't believe that Jesus and God or Jesus is coming back. You're delaying his coming. And it's a woman that teaches that. I can't even listen to it because I don't want to listen to it because all I do is want to sit there and pick up. No, that's wrong. No, that's wrong. So I don't listen to it. All right. I'm going to go grab us a drink. Me a drink here. Us a drink. Me a drink. That was crazy how my microphone wasn't working. All I did was touch it. And now it's working. It's a brand new microphone. Well, it's not brand new, but it's like new. Give me a second, guys. I'm going to go grab a drink. I'm so thirsty. I'm dry. Okay, I'm back. Hold on a sec here. Hey, even you guys there, but I'm dry. Uh-oh. Okay. Jeremiah 17:14. Heal me, O Lord, I shall be healed. Save me, Lord, and I shall be saved, for thou art my praise. Okay. I'm constantly praying. I don't really pray for being healed anymore, but I was constantly praying to be healed. And now I just give up on myself. Myself doesn't matter. You guys matter. Okay. All lives matter. Not kids' lives, not black lives, not green lives. All lives matter. I really hate when I see Black Lives Matter. Okay. That was an organization, evil organization that did that, by the way. It's to turn race against race, and I'm not against any other race, okay? Actually, I want to help save the other races, the ones that don't have Jesus. You can't save the whole world though. There's just no way. If I could, I'd be Jesus, and I'm not Jesus, so I can't. Oh, here's one. 5:22:23. Wives, submit yourself to your own husband as for the Lord. For the husband is the head of the wife, even as Christ is the head of the church and is the savior of the body. Church, and he is savior of the body. So, and here's one for the husbands. Love thy husband like you love thy Lord. That it says it in the Bible. Yeah. Junior, I just wanted to tell you I saw that you put Mike from around the world on your YouTube. Be careful with that, okay? Because I've been kicked out of YouTube for putting mic on. Okay. So that's why I do it on Mixer, right? Because I've been kicked off for it. Okay. They might give you a copyright strike because that's not you, right? And I get what you're doing, Junior. I did it too. Remember, I used to put them on, but I've been kicked off of Mark's channel for it and mine. I've had two copyright strikes due to using Mike. They hate him because he speaks full truth, and he's one of the closest one that can speak it. Okay, yeah, and putting his name on the title. Yeah. And hey, I'm not giving you trouble, guy. I just don't want to see. I'm really glad you have a YouTube channel, right? At least you're doing something. Okay. Eventually, you need to be on there teaching. Okay. Yeah, you did. And it's all good, buddy. And Mike doesn't want them to be live anymore, right? Yeah, it's not a big deal. I would, because I've been kicked off of YouTube. Uh, Anybody that puts Council of Time, I don't see him anymore. When I first came onto YouTube, that's how I found it, is on Council of Time. So, and that person got kicked off, and then there's two more that tried, and they got kicked off. Okay, for good. Okay, because they want to erase Mike, right? Save now, I beseech thee, O Lord. Oh, sorry. Psalms 118, 25, and 26. Save now, I beseech thee, O Lord. O Lord, I beseech thee, send now prosperity. Blessed be he that cometh in the name of the Lord. He have blessed you out of the house of the Lord. Okay. Galatians 2:21. I do, I do not frustrate the grace of God, for it is righteousness come by the law, then Christ is dead in vain. Without grace. Okay. Grace is so important. Grace and mercy are a part of each other, right? So without grace, there's no mercy, right? He has mercy on you, and that's why you get grace. The time to get it right. That's what that is. So the two words are actually one. Second Peter 2, well, they're together, okay? Second Peter 2:9. The Lord knoweth how to deliver the godly out of temptations, and to reserve the unjust unto the day of judgment to be punished. That's what I'm trying to help my brothers for. I don't want to see them get punished. You could punish me all you want. You're not actually punishing me anymore. I'm to that point now. Whereas go ahead and tell me you're going to kick me in the face. If you show up at my door, I'm going to shut the door on you. I'm going to call the police on you, and that's all I'm going to do. I'm not going to sit there at the window while the police is taking them away and laugh at them either. Okay. Wow. And to be punished by the Lord in the day of judgment means to go where there's wailing and gnashing of teeth. That's everlasting punishment, too, by the way. They're going to suffer, suffer, and suffer, and suffer forever. I couldn't imagine that. No, maybe I should put it on. Send it to me, Junior, through whatever you want to do, Facebook or whatever. Junior's on my Facebook now. You see Mark on there, eh? Mark Kovacs, eh? That's Mark. Well, I believe you knew that already. The only thing that me and him ever put on there, like you've seen through my Facebook, my profile, it's all stuff about what's happening in the world and God and Jesus. That's all I ever do on Facebook anymore. I don't get involved with people talking about other people and governments and getting involved with the shenanigans of the world, because come out of her, my people, come out of the world, that you not be partakers of her sins. Hey, if you send me that, we'll do that today too as well. Yeah, send it to my Facebook. Okay. You sent it, so I'm going to finish that up and we're going to watch the video that Junior just sent me, right? So the Lord know how to deliver you. It's not nice. It's not what we want as deliverance. It's not what we expect as deliverance, okay? But he does things in strange ways, even you're delivering. He is the great deliverer, right? So we're not going to know how he delivers us until we go through that. Then you'll see. I'm like, oh, after it's done, after you've gone through something, you'll see how he's delivered you the next time that situation comes up and you say, no, easier. Okay. So the more I keep into the Lord, yeah, I got it, buddy. So the more I keep into the Lord, the more he's delivering me. You know what I mean? He's not going to keep delivering you if you're in sin. You're actually putting the stumbling block in front of yourself now. Now you got to deal with that, and you've stopped your full deliverance. You've put a stop to it. So the quicker we get better, the closer we are to death, because our flesh. We have killed the old man, which is our flesh. When you've killed the old man, you're going to no longer be in there anymore, because now you get your greatest reward of all, and that's your glorified body and your new name on a rock, right? So your name that you have on this earth is not your name, okay? That's it's not the name God's given you. You're going to have a new one, all right? So James 4:12, there is a lawgiver who is able to save and destroy. Who art thou that judgeth another? Wow. Because he's going to save us. What are we to judge other people? We don't know if they're going to be saved. We didn't have their light that they could see. Somebody else might have it. There's people born of the devil, and I've seen who it is around me and in my family, okay? And I'm not telling them that, oh, you're born of the devil, you're not going to make it. No, I'm not the one to judge that, okay? That will happen at the end. And that's why God gave me ability to actually see who is who. I don't go around and look at them and say, you're born of the devil. No, I try to save them, okay? And that's why he gives it to you. He'll give you that sight, okay? That's a gift. You're not to abuse it, right? He gives you that gift to see that person needs to be saved. They're naked and they're not clothed, okay? And that's what Jesus is. If you don't have Jesus, you're desolate, you're naked, you're an abomination. So if they're in your life, what do you want to do if you know that person's has abomination and they don't believe in Jesus and they're naked? You want to try to help save them, not throw more dirt on their coffin, because you're only throwing it on your own. Okay. Whatever you throw on somebody else is coming back at you. Whatever you teach, what you don't know. If you don't know something, don't be going and teaching it, because you're going to go through it. So be careful on that. And I've almost gone through everything. That's why I can teach about it. It's not to brag. It's tough to go through it. Let's see how much more. Okay, so we're almost done, and then we're going to show uh, a Junior's video, okay? There's James 4:12. There is one lawgiver who is able to save and destroy. Okay, already did that, but we're almost done. Colossians 1:13-14, who have delivered us from the power of darkness and have translated us into the kingdom. Translated, that's not rapture. That's totally opposite of what rapture is. He's translating us. He's transfiguring, translating. He's changing us. Okay. He gives us, he's translated us into the kingdom of of his dear Son, in whom have redemption through his blood, even the forgiveness of sins. So forgive those who sin against you because of your sins that sinned against many people, and you're being forgiven by God. So how is it possible that God can forgive me for what I've done? Because he does, because he knows your heart, right? Yeah, and you know what? That's righteousness. Whoever thirsts and hunger for righteousness will be filled. You don't like your sin. I don't like my sin. I absolutely hate my sin. Okay? I don't like when I'm doing it, I might like it, but after, instantly, I hate it. So them who love unrighteousness will taste of the second death, right? They love their sin. They love doing it. Therefore, what are they? They're a part of the darkness, because what does Satan like doing? Sin. And he loves people to cause people to do sin, right? Okay, so Matthew 7:21. Not everyone that saith unto me, Lord, Lord, shall enter into the kingdom of heaven, but he that doeth the will of my Father which is in heaven. So what's the will of our Father? To bring other people in, right? Yeah, it's tough. Ow! I just hit my calf on the metal bed frame really hard. Ouch. Okay, so the problem is that people have is they say they're doing the will of the Lord, but if you're not producing fruit, you're not doing the will of the Lord. Okay? If you're not giving meat in due season, that's why I put you in this season, is to give the meat. If you're not doing that, then are you of the Lord? Not really. Okay? You're not doing the will of the Lord. The will of the Lord is to love thy neighbor as thyself. Do unto him as he as you would wish the Lord to do unto you. Okay? See, people do unto others as you would have them do unto you. No, that's wrong. Because if someone's hitting you in the back of the head, you're going to do to him what he's doing to you? No. Someone hits you on the right side, give them your left. Okay, don't fall for a prey to it. Okay, so we're done that one. That took 3 days. That teaching. Okay, so let's show this junior's video here. Okay, so I'm going to bring it up closer. I'm going to double it up here. Okay, this is bring up my chair. Set everything. Oh, that's a long one, Junior. We're only going to be able to show so much of it, right?
That the New World Order and the Illuminati know, if they were put to good use, would be fantastic. But if you saw what I've seen, it would make you angry that these people are taking what could be used for the elevation of mankind, and they're using it to enslave us.
Evil men have already divided up the world into regions, and they've got it all planned. They want to rule the world. Their goal is to reduce the population to 500 million, with a few of them as the elite get to rule the world. God has plans for the world, and so does Satan. Satan's plan is no people here, maybe just a few, and a one world government. The Bible says perilous times shall come. The people will be fierce, despisers of those that are good, Christians are going to be absolutely hated.
Task will be to develop an overall strategy for America in this period when really a new world order can be created. It's a great opportunity. It isn't a crisis.
We know the race is not to the swift, nor the battle to the strong. Do you not think an angel rides in the whirlwind and directs this storm?
I do have one question. During the crisis or any time that you're aware of, has the Federal Reserve or participated in any gold swaps arrangements? We don't. The Federal Reserve does not own any gold at all. We have not owned gold since 1934.
Not what needs reign, which hither ye have fought from regions where I reign.
Which passages of Scripture should guide our public policy? Should we go with Leviticus, which suggests slavery is okay, that eating shellfish is an abomination? Or we could go with Deuteronomy, which suggests stoning your child if he strays from the faith? Or should we just stick to the Sermon on the Mount, a passage that is so radical that it's doubtful that our own Defense Department would survive its application?
Chief world government is necessary to overthrow the minds of men with their individualism.
Okay, now my readings have told me, for what it's worth, that some of us will be able to have ascended abilities. I mean, full-on ascended abilities prior to the actual shift happening. So that would be very cool, because what we're expecting after 2012 is a 100 times more harmonious utopian world where things like time travel, levitation, instant telepathy, instant healing, telekinesis are as common and as everyday as breathing.
What is it saying is more than one small country. It is a big idea, a new world order, where diverse nations are drawn together in common cause to achieve the universal aspirations of mankind: peace and security, freedom, and the rule of law.
I want to tell you about a few of the things that I have learned during these last 5 years of intensive research. Perhaps the most startling thing that I can share with you is that all of the conspiracy theories you've ever heard about one world government, about the UN takeover of the world, all of those conspiracies have now been laid to rest. There's nothing conspiratorial about it. It's all published. The UN-funded Commission on Global Governance began meeting in 1992 in earnest and met for 4 years, and last fall released their final report. It is entitled Our Global Neighbor.
If the Bible is simply a book of myths,
fairy tales, and stories, then it is disturbingly accurate in describing what we see unfolding in our current world climate. In my personal journey, I've come to the conclusion that the biblical worldview best explains the origin of evil and its many symptoms to mankind. It explains human suffering and the inescapable reality of death and decay that we experience in this world. But most importantly, it reveals why mankind has used deception as its most powerful and reliable instrument to carry out the plan set in motion by an ancient hate.
Okay, this one's going to be too long. I wanted to show a video of If I Were the Devil. Okay, this is a good one. Hold on a second. I'm going to see if this is it. Okay, sorry guys, here it is.
I'm here and ready to help you answer
If I were the devil, if I were the prince of darkness, I'd want to engulf the whole world in darkness. I'd have a third of its real estate and 4/5 of its population, but I wouldn't be happy until I had seized the ripest apple on the tree. So I'd set about, however necessary, to take over the United States. I'd subvert the churches first. I'd begin with a campaign of whispers. With the wisdom of a serpent, I would whisper to you as I whispered to Eve, do as you please. To the young, I would whisper that the Bible is a myth. I would convince them that man created God instead of the other way around. I would confide that what's bad is good and what's good is square. And the old, I would teach to pray after me, Our Father, which art in Washington. And then I'd get organized. I'd educate authors in how to make lurid literature exciting so that anything else would appear dull and uninteresting. I'd threaten TV with dirtier movies and vice versa. I'd peddle narcotics to whom I could. I'd sell alcohol to ladies and gentlemen of distinction. I'd tranquilize the rest with pills. If I were the devil, I'd soon have families at war with themselves, churches at war with themselves, and nations at war with themselves, until each in its turn was consumed. And with promises of higher ratings, I'd have mesmerizing media fanning the flames. If I were the devil, I would encourage schools to refine young intellects, but neglect to discipline emotions. Just let those run wild. Until before you knew it, you'd have to have drug-sniffing dogs and metal detectors at every schoolhouse door. Within a decade, I'd have prisons overflowing. I'd have judges promoting pornography. Soon I could evict God from the courthouse, then from the schoolhouse, and then from the houses of Congress. And in his own churches, I would substitute psychology for religion and deify science. I would lure priests and pastors into misusing boys and girls and church money. If I were the devil, I'd make the symbol of Easter an egg and the symbol of Christmas a bottle. If I were the devil, I'd take from those who have and give to those who wanted until I had killed the incentive of the ambitious. And what'll you bet? I couldn't get whole states to promote gambling as the way to get rich. I would caution against extremes in hard work, in patriotism, in moral conduct. I would convince the young that marriage is old-fashioned, that swinging is more fun, that what you see on TV is the way to be. And thus I could undress you in public, and I could lure you into bed with diseases for which there is no cure. In other words, if I were the devil, I'd just keep right on doing what he's doing.
Stroke can affect any age group. It does not care how old you are.
He succeeded in doing all that, did he not? Actually, one of the biggest things, if I were the devil, I would make you not believe in the devil. That way he could deceive you. Okay, so let's find another one.
This is Canada's first and only stroke ambulance.
And that was done in black and white, by the way. All those things are here. Incredibly accurate. Let's see this one.
Look so wrong and make wrong look so cool.
They even have a song about it. Crazy. Crazy. So I'm going to grab my Bible. We're going to go back into some of the Gospels, right? No, he's just saying what the devil was going to do, right? He's not saying he was the devil. He said if he was the devil, these are the tricks that he'd pull. The nakedness on the TV, the drugs and the alcohol. They did legalize marijuana. Okay. Alcohol, gambling. Again, nakedness on the TV. Okay. The first thing the devil got away with is convincing everybody that the devil didn't exist. Okay. That way he could do that. Also, say that good is bad and bad is good. Well, God talks about that. That's what they're saying now. Okay. They're calling me bad because I'm trying to help them bring their children to God, to help them get rid of what's causing their children to do that. But yet they're not seeing it because they don't even know that Jesus exists. So if they don't know that Satan doesn't exist, then they don't know that Jesus does exist. So, sorry, if they didn't know that Satan existed, they won't know that Jesus existed, right? So, yeah, we live in the most deceiving time. It's definitely for sure on that one, okay? I'm going to grab my Bible and we're going back into the Gospels, okay? So give me a second. I'm going to go pop my Bible. I go 2 hours. That's what I go. And if I haven't reached 2 hours, then I'm not satisfied. Okay. All right. Everybody left. Everybody's leaving. That's nothing new. But anyways, we were on the Gospels before the last few days, and I went and started getting to other things. So let's get back into the Gospel. Okay, so Matthew 24:30. Open your Bibles. And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven, and shall all tribes on the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming on the clouds of heaven with great power and great glory. I've had that dream twice, and it's exactly as it explains, okay? He came on a big cloud. It was a pink cloud, by the way. And he had a rod of iron in his hand. 31, and he shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds of the earth, from one end of heaven into the other. No rapture. Now learn the parable when the fig tree, when his branch something's in there. Hold on a second. Which is right now. Now learn the parables of the fig tree when his branch, you are the branch grafted in. So it talks about that. We are the branch grafted in, the Gentiles. When the branch is yet tender and putteth forth leaves, that's give fruit, that's teaching, giving meat in due season. And when they're putting forth the leaves, put forth the leaves, ye should know that summer is nigh. So likewise, when ye shall see these things, know that it's near, even at the door. 34, verily I say unto you, this generation shall not pass to all these things, but be fulfilled. I've taught you how many of those things have been fulfilled. Lots. There's things that people don't understand have already happened. Okay? That's because they believe in rapture, right? Verily I say to you, this generation shall not until all these things be fulfilled. Okay, 35. Heaven and earth shall pass away, but my word shall never pass away. So what's happening right now? Everything's coming in on us. Heaven and earth is passing away. It's been passing away since Adam and Eve. So it's getting greater and greater and greater. But the words, the gospel, will never pass away. So even the black words in the Bible are going to be disintegrated. They're going to pass away. The word of God is Jesus. That'll never pass away too. And this is the red words. They will never pass away. But of that day and the hour no man knoweth but the angels, not the angels of heaven, but my Father only. But as the day is nowhere, so shall also be the coming of the Son of Man. So on steroids, by the way. For as in the days that were before the flood, they were eating and drinking, marrying, giving in marriage, until the day that Noah entered into the ark. Noah. No. Okay. We're getting ready for the doors of this ark to be closing. The next ark, what I'm talking about, the ark that's closing, is the door of mercy and grace is closing. Once that mercy and grace is gone, there's no more time for anyone to be saved. But God has mercy. There'll be a quarter of the people left that we will go out and teach in the new millennium, right? And he knew not till the flood came and took them away. So shall also be the Son of Man. Then two shall be in the field, and one shall be taken, and the other left. That's happening every day. That's happening every minute. Someone's dying, someone's passing away. Someone's being taken every second on this earth. And someone is being brought back. 2 women shall be grinding at the mill, and one shall be taken, and one shall be left. That means the same thing. Watch, therefore, you know not what hour your Lord doth come. But know this, that if the good man of the house had known in what watch the thief would come, the season would come, he would have watched, and he would not have suffered his house to be broken up. If your house is broken up and you don't have Jesus and you're in sin, you're not going to know. He's going to come and take it as a thief. That's not rapture. Someone tried to use that as rapture. No. The thief is Jesus. He's the one that's in control of life and death. Without him, you don't die. Without him, you don't live. So he's the thief that comes and takes the souls away. They're not watching. They don't even believe. They're watching aliens. And this deception coming up, they're going to say aliens even created Jesus. How is that even possible? Because Jesus is God. That's not even possible? So they're given over to a great delusion of their choice, just like we would be. If we keep in these little sins, you're going to be given over to one of those sins, and you're going to be taken away as a thief, and you're not watching. It means you're watching. It means you're doing the will of the Father as well as watching what we're doing with ourselves. That's what that means. We're watching ourselves. We're assessing ourselves every day to try to get better every day. Okay? So if you're not watching and you're not doing the will of the Father, you're going to lose. You're not going to heaven. What's the will of the Father? Like I've been teaching for the last couple weeks, is to give meat in due season. They're not knowing that. They're thinking, oh, well, let's just bring them to Jesus. You're not doing the full will. You're not giving meat in due season by doing that. Yes, you might be helping save the soul, but they're not watching because they don't know what hour they're in. The whole world doesn't even understand what hour we live in. Even some of the church don't, because they have many deceptions in the church. It all says if I was the devil, I would be in the church. I would be that pasture in the church. They're called the hirelings. Okay, let me stop here. Okay, I'm on there. I'm going to bring up the hirelings now. In the KJV, it talks about the hirelings and the master wolf is coming. Wow. So this is why I say most of everything I talk about is only biblical. I hate talking about the world. The world loves his own. Okay. But he that is an hireling and not the shepherd, whose own the sheep are not, seeth the wolf coming, and leaveth the sheep, and fleeth. And the wolf catcheth them, and scatter the sheep. Right there, he's talking about, but if the hireling and not the shepherd, whose own the sheep are not, seeth the wolf coming, and leaveth the sheep, and fleeth. They're not going to care about you. These pastors are going to, and they're already doing it, they're going to run away from their sheep, and the sheep are going to scatter. They're going to find other flock. They're going to find someone else to listen to. That's why God says, I'm against your pillows that hunt their souls and teach them to fly. They will lose their flock. So because they're teaching the wrong things and they realize that when it's almost too late, but I do believe God will give them grace and mercy, and they'll know that that's coming. So there's a wolf coming, right? These hirelings are going to be sucked right up and took off, and the sheep are going to scatter. They're going to leave. He's going to leave the sheep and fleeth to try to save his own life. They're not concerned. They're concerned about the money. They're concerned about the popularity. How many people are in my church? Well, I only have 76. Now I got another one, another subscriber. I only have 76. God's building my church slowly because of pride. He doesn't want pride in there, because if I have pride, I am sinning. Pride is the worst sin. Right? So that's about the hireling. And they're in all churches nowadays. This is why I don't go to church. And people, I keep telling this to the people I love, and they're hopping churches. They're not getting their fill. This is why. They're going to churches that are not teaching the proper thing. Women teaching in a church. My daughter-in-law, one person I know, sorry, I didn't mean to do that. I don't want to put anyone in a bad position and make them feel bad. I'm not here to do that. But if you're church hopping, why are you church hopping? Well, they give you a different excuse. It's because they're not getting the message. They're not getting the message that their soul wants them to hear. They're getting the prosperity message. Prosperity comes with being obedient. He will reward you in open. That's prosperity. Okay? So I had to bring that up and move and show that that's in the Bible. That's what I do. Okay, so Matthew 24:39. I already said that. Yeah, I already said that. Already said that. Already said that. 43. But know this, if the groomsmen of the house had known in which hour the thief would come, he would have watched and would not have suffered his house to be broken up. So we know that this is the hour. You guys all know it. I've showed it to you. I've showed it to you through me, through Mike, through Steve Quayle. We're two other witnesses speaking like me. Okay. I don't teach exactly like Mike or like Steve Quayle. Everybody has their own way of teaching. God gives everybody what they are to teach their flock, and their flock will sit on their tree and they will listen and they will eat the fruit of. You're being filled through me, through Jesus. That's what he does. Everlasting, or the water of life, okay? Then you'll never thirst again, right? So these churches are not teaching Revelations. Oh, we're in end times, but not in Revelations, the one pastor said. What did I just say? They're not allowed to teach Revelations, or else they will lose their church. They will lose their license. Okay? So is Satan own the churches? Oh, heck yes, he does. That's why I don't go to church. This is my church. The church of God's church, sorry. The church of Ecclesia. Built without hands and walls. Not Laodicea. The last church of the last days is Laodicea. The apostate church. So no wonder why you're running around the church to church. You're not being filled. So you're seeking to be filled and you're not being filled. Keep going to these churches and that's the results you're going to get, because they're not giving you the water of life that makes you grow. They're not growing and they're seeking to grow, but yet they're saying they're growing. That's hypocritical too, by the way. You go where there's weeping and gnashing of teeth for doing that. That's being hypocritical. Start finding the people that speak it and use that as your church, like you guys do with this one. This ain't my church. I don't claim it to be mine. I'm just there talking about and trying to work out our own salvation together. This is salvation. It says salvation. This is what we're in here for, to be saved. But there's so many things in front of that we have to do. Worry about saving someone else, and he will save you. Quit running from church to church in a building. That's not where the church is. Jesus said that. The two churches got destroyed. The two temples got destroyed. God talks about three. Which are ye? Okay. Therefore also be ready in such hour as you think not that the Son of Man cometh. So that's why we're to be paired 24/7. Especially right now, we're not to be playing with our salvation because the Lord could come back any day. And he's going to come on a day that man knoweth not. That doesn't mean he's not coming on Christmas. He's not coming on Easter. He's not coming on a Sabbath. Okay? He's not coming on any day that anybody can think it. Right? That'd be too easy. Who then is faithful and wise servant, whom his Lord hath made ruler over his household, to give them meat in due season? Okay? This one's very important. This is what I've been teaching. Meat in due season. If you're not giving meat in due season, you're going where there's wailing and gnashing of teeth. And we are in due season. And I can prove that. I'm going to finish. Keep going with it. I don't have to prove that. You should know that within inside of you. God has you clicking and keeping with him, and it's making you stronger. The more you seek his face, the closer he gets nearer to you. I'm total proof of that. I seek his face from the time I get up till the time I go to bed, and even when I'm sleeping, I'm getting dreams. Okay? If I sin and go back to smoking dope, I'm not going to get any dreams, and I'm going to feel barren again. That's happened to me many times. I've smoked marijuana since I was 10 years old. Okay? So every time I do go back to that sin, I feel desolate again. I don't feel like I have Jesus in me. I don't feel like the Holy Spirit is there. That's what's making me stay away from that. I don't want to lose God. You have to give up these things. You have to sacrifice things as like Jesus did. You have to sacrifice the old man and carry that cross every day. The things that you used to do, you can no longer do, and you shouldn't do them, and you probably aren't. And every once in a while you stumble, right? Like I teach, if you haven't fallen, how are you going to learn to get back up? Each time you fall, you get back up and you've learned what made you fall. Start dealing with what made you fall so you don't keep falling, because it's horrible. It's horrible when you fall. What do you mean you could see blocked videos? You found a way. Man, you kids are smart on these computers. I'm a computer dummy. I'll tell you the first place. I bought this computer that I run right now to teach people. I didn't buy it for anything else. That's all I do with this computer is go on YouTube. Okay. So, and that's why I want to only teach Bible teachings on here, and my Mixler, all the other things that gets me kicked off. Okay, so we're talking about when then his faithful and wise servant, who his Lord have made ruler over his household, to give them meat in due season. So he's saying, I'm ruler over you. No, I'm not. Okay, but he says that. I don't want to do that because no man shall boast. I only boast on the heavenly things, on God and Jesus. I don't boast on myself. That's pride. Prudent. Okay, we're not to be pride. We're not to have pride in our lives. Pride will make you fall. Okay, so blessed is the servant whom his Lord, when he cometh, shall find him doing so. Or find so doing. Meat season. If you're not doing that, here's what's going to happen. Verily I say unto you that he shall make him ruler over all of his goods. But if an evil servant shall say in his heart, my Lord delayeth his coming. So we're given meat in due season. So if you're not given meat in due season, you're saying the Lord's delaying his coming. Therefore, you go where the hypocrites do, right? And he shall begin to smite his fellow servants. Let's say, oh, yeah, right. That's what they've been saying all along, buddy, for many, many years. And to eat and to drink with the drunkard. I had to stop myself. I have to stop myself from doing that because I do have a family. And my wife is going to go out and be with their family, but they're all not giving meat in due season because they don't even know Jesus. They don't believe in him. The Lord of that servant shall come in a day when he's not looking. So the thief, right? For him in an hour that he is not aware of. And shall cut him asunder and appoint him his portion with the hypocrites, where there shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth. Like I say, sometimes he says wailing, sometimes he says weeping. So, what happens if you're not given meat in due season? This is why I'm telling you guys this. We're in due season. This is what I've been teaching for a while. Okay. Then shall the kingdom of heaven be likened unto virgins which took their lamps and went forth to meet the bridegroom. Oh, you know what? I wasn't even here. I was teaching this. We were in Mark, I do believe. Anyways, that's good that I did that. Because it's good to be reminded, right? That's what the Bible does. It repeats it over and over and over so that it wears out what you used to repeat over and over and over. Sin and lawlessness, okay? That's what we used to repeat as the old man over and over and over. So we have to wear that out of there. We're making a new man through the Bible. We're helping Jesus by the reading and the unlocking of the Bible inside of us, right? I do believe we were in Mark. I remember I went back. Okay, so I'm jumping forward back into Mark. Right here. This is where I want it to be. Okay, so Mark 4. And he answered them, saying, who is my mother and my brethren? That we all know is us. And Jesus said, well, my mother was there, because Jesus was there with his mother. When he was here, he was with his mother the whole entire time, right? Just like I'm with my mother the whole entire time. I always call the people to make sure they're doing okay. That's right. You got it, Lisa. The more we seek them, our body is against us. We're warring against our own flesh, too. So your flesh is not liking not having all those things. Like for me, it was marijuana and alcohol, swearing, lying, cheating. Now my body was used to all that. Now I'm taking it away from it. It doesn't like it, so it's warring back. It wars back with pain. We are to endure the pain, sufferings, and afflictions. Okay? And mockers and scoffers. When you are to endure them, that doesn't mean try to put them out with gasoline. That means when they're mocking and scoffing you, to say nothing or say, pray for them. That's what I was doing yesterday. I was crying out for these children my nieces have, okay? They don't have a chance to make it unless God intervenes. And I asked God to intervene, and he tried. Some of the demons were manifesting out of the poor little guy yesterday. And he said, Grandma, I don't know. Something's in my head telling me to do this. So what was in his head telling him to do those sins? 9 years old. What was in his head? Demons. And I just tried to tell my sister the only way you're going to get rid of those demons out of that little boy is bring him to Jesus. You take him to a psychologist, it's just going to bury it for a short time. And I believe a short time it's going to come back out. It's not going to heal it at all. It's actually growing it. When you try to bury evil and evil's in you and you don't have Jesus, it's only going to grow. It ain't going to be buried. You can't stuff evil under the carpet without dealing with it. The mums have to humble themselves. I don't care if they go to Christ, but they need to put those kids in Christ. I'm giving them the solution. Not me, it's Jesus. But yet they're blaming it on me and flipping it all around on me. And that's okay. That's what they're going to do. And I look at that and I go, you know what? The Bible says they're going to do that. No, I watch your videos sometimes, Junior. Right? You've been getting taught through me. You're going to be greater than me. You got much more time now than you've ever had to learn about God. You're going to devise different ways of teaching people. God is going to devise different ways for you. Every person is special on this earth that is of God. We are the children of light. So the way you're going to teach is going to be different than the way everybody else teaches. Nobody teaches exactly the same. But all good roads lead to Jesus if there's no false doctrine in there. Yesterday I showed you guy that's saying that the end of the world war is the apocalypse. No, it's not. It's Magog and Gog. We proved it because it's after the apocalypse. The apocalypse becomes before Magog and Gog war, okay? And you got this guy that's got a million people with wrong teachings in it. It's all vain, right? But God, he saved a lot of people, so I believe he is saved himself. It covers many sins when you save someone, all right? And he taught them things in parables and said unto them in his doctrine, hearken, behold, there went out a sower in the to sow. And it came to pass he sowed some fell by the wayside, and the fowls of the air came up and devoured it. Okay, so yesterday I was sowing, and they were getting devoured. And they were trying to devour me on top of it. But I'm going to let no man shall pluck you out of the hands. Whatever you try to do to me, I'm not going to get angry back at you. You're not plucking me out of the hands of God because you're angry, because I'm teaching you the truth. What do people, they don't like the truth, do they? So sometimes they shut it off and sometimes they fight back against it. When you know someone's fighting against the truth, you know they're not saved. That's time for you. We're a light put in this world, not to hide under your bed or under a bushel. Okay. Yeah, me too. I've been very sleepy. Has everybody been really tired lately? I need you guys to all answer this. Have you guys been tired lately? Whoever's in the room, yes or no? He will wear out the saints the Most High. Okay. So we're being worn out. We're warring. Yes, very. I had 8 hours sleep last night. I went to work for 4 hours and I couldn't wait to get home to jump back into bed. Yes. Yes. We got 2 yeses. He's wearing us out. This is, if you're spiritually warring, that's tiring you out. That's worse than working. So I'm constantly in a war with my flesh and it's tiring me out. My flesh is of Satan. And we're turning that around right now. So even Mark too. If you're not tired, you might want to look at that. Oh, how's it going, buddy? but never surrender. No, but like, I didn't even know you were there, Daryl. You must have showed up. You sneaky little bugger, you. Just kidding. Man, you guys are loyal. Man, you guys are loyal to God. They're your rewards waiting for you in heaven. Keep being loyal. There's no man that's going to pluck me out of the hands of my living Father. No one. So they can go ahead, yeah, all day, every day, especially in this hour. Okay. So when some fell on stony ground where they had not much earth, and immediately it sprung up because it had no depth in the earth. So with no dirt, they can't get stronger. No foundation. The dirt is the foundation. What's our foundation? Jesus. So the more we're seeking his face, the more our earth underneath our feet is getting stronger so that we can stand in that day and be blameless, shameless. We're family. That's right. So, and Lisa told me today that she's going to make one. When I give you guys the key to make your Facebook, it's going to be like listen, it's going to be sent out the 12th. The next day, the DVDs are going to be sent out. So I'll tell you, after the 11th, you might want to make that Facebook. I had someone say, I can't find you on Facebook, but you can. I didn't get that. I'm on Facebook. I have two. So you're going to have to invite. I have one for my phone and one for my iPad. I'm going to be doing the video on my iPad because it's bigger and you're going to be seeing it better on this. Okay. So it's going to be coming from my TV to this. Okay. That's how I've got to do it. Actually, I'm going to do it with my can I do it with my computer? No, because I'm not on Facebook on this computer. I don't do that. So I'm going to be doing it through my iPad. I'm going to on the screen. I'm going to find a way to set it up. Yeah, I'm really proud of you, Junior. Don't give up. What do you do to get a reward? Keep teaching people. Keep teaching kids. We need kids teaching kids because their parents aren't doing it. Okay? I know it's tough. I know. Don't worry what they do or what they say to you. Oh, better than me than when I was his age. Oh my God, I was deep into sin at his age. Because it had no depth in the earth. Okay, 6. But when the sun was up, it scorched, and because it had no root, it withered away. So what's the root of us? Jesus Christ is our root, our foundation. You seek him more, and your roots grow deeper and stronger. You stop, and then the process starts going backwards. It's easy to fall into temptation. Really easy. And it's really hard to follow the Lord. It's the hard way. I've always took the hard way, and I'm glad that I've always taken the hard way because that's how we learn. I took the hard way as a Christian. I was kicking and screaming the first couple years. I did some, and I'm telling you the truth, some cocaine as a Christian. Well, that was one of my times I fell. It's a really bad drug. Okay. And I always cried out to the Lord for that one. Boy, oh boy, did I ever. Never to touch it again. Okay. And some fell among the thorns. What's thorns? Satan. And the thorns grew up and choked it, and it yielded no fruit. What are we to be if a tree's not yielding any fruit? It gets hewn down, right? So another fell on good ground, and it did yield fruit that sprung up and increased, and brought forth some 30, some 30, some 60, and some 100. That's the seed that I believe the four of us have in us. We're here every day together, walking into heaven together, holding each other's hands together, behind each other. Now, I don't need you to stick up for me. If you would see on my Facebook, I have no one sticking up for me when they all curse me down. And I don't want anyone to stick up for me. Okay? We have to mind our own business. If we don't, you start looking like this. That's why I lose my teeth. No, it's not. I lost my teeth to many things, right? Yeah, I love the sower, eh? That's my favorite parable by far. It explains so much, and yet people don't understand it, right? And he said to him, he that hath ears to hear, let him hear. We have the ears to hear. Where's all these people I saved? I helped save. Sorry, I didn't save. I'm not the savior. Okay. So where are they all? They're not here. You get that? Some of them are fallen by the wayside. They can't bear their what am I going to say? What was I going to say? When Satan comes alongside them, they're easily tricked back in. Because they didn't do, when someone comes to the Lord on my channel, I always tell them, read the Bible daily, listen to the sermon daily, listen to the messenger that God sent you to daily, and you don't see them again, do you? Okay. So they're the ones of the sower and the seed, the ones that are falling on dry ground, the ones that don't have a foundation need to be seeking the Lord hardcore. Now, not to say they're not going to come back. The Lord will chase them most likely back, okay? Well, we don't know, right? So, I don't see many of them. I've probably saved about 20 people now, helped save 20 people on this. I don't see one of them anymore. Only you guys. And every now and again, someone else jumps in. I save them and I never see him. Like Hassan gave himself to God. Rudy gave himself to God. Now, sometimes they're not going to watch on this hour. So I give those ones credit. I usually have about 20 or 30 views, and that's all I usually get. Unless I put Steve Quayle and Mike on. It makes me feel bad that I even do that. But I do that to help you guys. I give you guys good teachers to listen to, not these ones teaching apostate church teaching. That's the time we live in, the apostate church, Laodicea. That's why it's the last church. There's my sister. I love my sister. That's my one full, true sister that I have, and I see it. Okay, I was looking for her my whole life. I only found her like 6 years ago. Okay, I'm not about to let go of her. Even when she gets mad at me, I understand when she gets mad at me. I get mad at me too. There you go, Mel. We all get mad at ourselves. I beat myself up when I sin over and over and over and over. That's why I don't want to sin, because God does it at the same time. So I'm getting beat up by God and myself. I don't like it. It'll drive you insane. Okay. Okay, so I wanted to go back. Oh, I didn't. I was talking about the meat and due season melody. I've been teaching that lately too. And see what happens when you give meat and due season, you lose the people that you never really had. That's what happened to my sister. And I feel for you, sister. And I'm there for you until the end. I will never leave you, or I will never forsake you. None of you guys. Even T-Dog one day, he blew up at me, and I asked him, I said, I'm sorry. I didn't want to offend you, and I'm sorry. And Boom. He knows I'm not going to leave him or forsake him. Just like Jesus doesn't leave us or forsake us. We don't leave the ones we love. We don't give up on them. God sent me and found my sister after 40 years. 40 some years, right, sis? And one day I got a phone call. There was my sister on the line. Man, I was excited. Me and Mel went through some tough times. We've had some fights. But I don't look back on that. I don't even remember half the things we fought over. But we had a rough go at the start, me and Melody. We almost let go of each other a couple times, but we kept fighting for each other. I fight for you, Melody, every day. And my soul fights for you. I pray for you all the time. I'm not happy unless I know my sister is in the Lord. And she truly is. She's truly trying as hard as she can. And it's a process, and I see it. I see how far she came. She's witnessed how far I came. Okay. Okay, so we're talking about the sower and the seed, okay? So when it came to pass, they sowed, some fell by the wayside, and the fowls of the air came up and devoured it. So your seed is fallen on strong ground, Melody, because you've believed in Jesus always. That's your foundation, okay? Yeah, I got quite the story. I've got 17 brothers and sisters, okay? And I care for all of them, but I only really keep in contact with 2. Okay. The other ones were just too evil, and I couldn't deal with them at the time because all they wanted to do was bring the evil out in me. And at the time, I was too weak to even deal with them. I even said sorry to one brother that brought out evil in me. He did it on purpose. He saw me as too nice of a guy. He wanted what I had, and he tried to take it, and he almost did. But I even messaged him on Facebook, and I said sorry to him. No answer back, of course. So we're going to know which ones are born of God and which ones aren't. Okay? Yeah, Melody's tired too. She's in a war herself. So we're all in a war. So that's why we need to have each other. Melody, these are my online brothers and sisters. They're always there. Cormac is too. But I've been saving a lot of people online, Melody, lately, and some of them Muslim, and I haven't seen them since. None of us have, eh? So they need to seek God. When you first give yourself to God, it's very hard because you're just starting. God's just going to start changing you, and that old man is still on you, and it's a process to beat that old man off of you. It's not going to happen overnight. There's no magical wands here coming in and clicking you and making you brand new. You have to help Jesus make you brand new by making the right choices. By not getting mad when someone's getting mad at you. By not attacking someone when someone's attacking you. By showing them love. That's a process. You're not going to do that overnight. The devil wants to push you and push you. I'm just using this even with me. He wants to push you, and he uses people to do that right to the edge until you snap. Now you've sinned. Now you got to ask God for forgiveness. And we do it in our own ways, in our own timing. And with his timing, we'll do it with us in our timing. Okay. When we're ready to. We can't hate no man when they throw stones at you. Okay. Don't throw them back. You're not doing any better by throwing them back. You are now hurting yourself. It's like gasoline on a fire doesn't put it out. Okay. It's a big process, Melody. Yes, it is. I had sexual perversion. I'm telling you right now, it's the hardest, that and anger are the hardest demons to fight. And I'm tired, and I'm tired. I've warred this thing for 5 years, And I begged God, take this one away from me. And I do believe, and I don't like to talk about it because I'll be challenged again. Okay. I go look at some girl online and I'm like, nope, gone right away. It gets easier and easier, Melody, as you get stronger and stronger. That's what the seed is. Your seed is growing. You're not a tree yet. Does a baby fall? Oh, heck yes. They fall and they fall and they fall. But does that stop them from getting back up again? No, it doesn't. It's not going to stop you. It's not going to stop me. They are not going to pluck us out of God's hand. No man is going to pluck you, Melody, out of Jesus' hand. No man. Melody, Lisa, Daryl. We're not going to let them. We're not going to add gas on the fire so that happens either. And that's a process. Our whole thing is a process. When they say, oh, you're going to be a Christian, you're never going to sin, you're never going to do any of these things again. That's prosperity teaching. I move on from that. I hate prosperity teaching. It's the wrong teaching. Prosperity comes with more you say yes to the Lord, and the more you say no to the devil, he will flee. It's a process making the devil flee. Totally. Okay? That process is his timing and your timing, Melody. Nobody's else's. That's why when last time me and my sister got, and I'm just using the sister, and I'm not blaming anybody. It's nobody's fault. It happens. We got in an argument. I was like, I'm not letting go of Melody. I love you, I told her. And she's like, I love you too, brother. She's seen where I've came. She's witnessed my growings. She's witnessed the things I tell her happen. Like Mike was saying yesterday, oh, some of the stuff you prophesied hasn't been happening. Yes, it did. See, some people don't have every answer for every person. I predicted Donald Trump wasn't going to get in even before the election started and people were yelling and scoffing and mocking me. Even Christians were. And what happened? Donald Trump did not get in. And I'm not dissing him because he can't be on everybody. You can't be teaching actually everything, especially him. He's probably got a couple million people that watch him. So you're not going to be on every page of every of those couple million people every day. He talks to me, Mike. When he talks, he's helped me. He's helped raise me. I've learned a lot from him. Okay, he's my favorite teacher in the world, and I don't put him above Jesus in no shape, form, or fashion. He's like me. He's just trying to teach his brother walk into heaven with his brothers. That's why I play him, right? Some people don't like to hear Mike from around the world. He's pretty harsh. Harsh truth. Meat in due season. That's what meat is. Meat is what I give, Melody. Well, there's an earthquake over here. Well, they killed many people over there. Well, the world's going to split up. That's not bad news, by the way, for you, Mel, or me, or Daryl, or Lisa, or Junior. That's not bad news. He's doing that for us. He's pouring out our prayers on the sun right now. There's an angel in the sun's corona mass, and the guy's saying it's a planet. Impossible for a planet to be in the sun's corona mass. It wouldn't be there. It wouldn't even get close, and it'd be burnt up. So that's a wrong teaching. Have to do Enoch studies to find out what planets are. All the planets that are named, I'll actually tell you one thing. Peter says I'm Jupiter, by the way. That's why God says I name the stars. He's not naming a piece of garbage, an ice ball floating in the sky. Why would he name that? That's vain. That's not of use. And if it was a piece of garbage, he'd take it and use it for something. But he's not going to name it. So why does God name the stars? What is a star? It's an angel. What is an angel? It's a messenger of God. What are you? You're to be a messenger of God and do the will of your Father and teach your brother and your sisters. Who cares if they turn on you? Who cares? We're not scared of the one that can kill our body. We're scared and we fear the one that could kill our body and our soul. Okay? Yeah, and I'm just using our situation, Melody. It happens to me all the time. Tom and me, we're good friends. I've been teaching him since I pulled him out of the church. I went to a church to try to help the church change over, and he spiritually kicked me out, and I got one out of the church. And I'm happy. If you only get one member, a remnant is only saved. Okay, so out of this whole world, and out of all the people that ever lived, only a remnant gets saved out of all the generations. So that's quite a bit, though, at the end, if you add up from the beginning of time. Okay? So right now, why does it say the whole world lies in the hand of the wicked one? Melody, you could see it. You all could see it. Daryl Jr., you can all see that the whole world lies in the hand of the wicked one. You know what's funny? I've had people say, well, I believe in evil. Yeah, well, where did that come from? Did it just come out of thin air? I believe in evil and good. Well, evil is Satan and good is God. No, you don't. But when they're on their deathbed, what are they going to call for? They're going to call out to God. Everybody. Whether they make it or not, if they are his seed, they will be saved. If you're God's seed, he's not going to leave you behind. 99 sheep in Jesus. Jesus left the 99 because one went astray. We jump out our fence. What happens? Jesus puts us right back in it. By the chastening of God. God chastens the one who he loves. Always. He's not going to leave you or forsake you. He's not going to leave you in the dust, man. If you're his child, you're going to heaven. And I'm confident that all of us are. I don't ever doubt anybody's salvation. We're not the ones to doubt their salvation. We're the ones that are there to help build their foundations through what Jesus gives us. Jesus says, I am the water of life, and you'll never thirst again. I fill you up. What does he fill you up for? To give it back out to somebody else, not to keep it. Because stagnant water goes rotten. Bet you when it has poopy in it. We will be perfect through Jesus, though. But we're not perfect because we're still here. If you're gone, you're not. If you're God, a child of God, and you get taken away, it's your time. Now he's going to make you perfect, and he's going to give you your new glorified body and name. Not one of us is without sin. Even at the end, when he comes back, there's going to be a little in us, and he will pluck it up by the roots. He will raise you up on the last day, just like he did the thief on the cross on the other hand. Notice how it was the right hand? I go to the right hand of my Father, and I pray to him, and he will send you a comforter. Okay? So God's comforter is the truth. We all know that, right? Yeah, let's see what time it is, because I'm over my time, but that's because my sister came. I specially stayed for my sister. And you guys. But when my sister comes in, I talk to her all the time. And Mel, I'm not using this against you. At first, she's like, you know, Rod, it's just too much for me. And then a month or two ago, she goes, I'm seeing through your eyes. And I'm seeing through Jesus. You get it? We're all one, man. We're all becoming one with God and Jesus. That's what it's meant to be. All of his children came from him. All Satan's children came from who? Lucifer, Satan, Beelzebub, whatever you want to say. Cain, right? Cain was born of the wicked one, right? And he had a jump because he killed Abel. So there's way more of Satan's people here, but you're not the going point. You're of Satan. You know, I can see who's making it, okay? God's given me that in the last couple months for a reason to use it for good, not for evil, right? I can see Melody struggling, but she just keeps going forward. She can see me struggling, but I keep going forward. We're inspiring each other, just like this channel is. You're inspiring me. I'm inspiring you. Without you, I might as well teach in a mirror to myself. I need you guys, okay? As much as you need Jesus, I need you, okay? This is how I get this running, flowing water that Jesus is giving me. And every time Melody calls me, that's all I talk about. And she accepts it now. Before, she fought it. Oh, I don't always want to hear about it. But then my mom, too, said the same thing. And now she, a month or two ago, she was sitting there and she said, Rodney, all I want to talk about is God now. Because we're coming out of the world. Come out of her so you not be a partaker of her plagues. That means come out of sin. Come out of that old man. Put him on the cross daily. Search your body, search your soul every day. There's something on your plate you have to work on every day with Jesus. Jesus is knocking at the door. But if you're not answering, let the knocks become less and less and less and less. But he's still going to knock on your door, but he's getting further and further away from you. You need to get closer and closer to Jesus. That's why it says, read your Bible a little bit day and night, right? If you don't have a Bible, you're not a Christian. Don't ever tell me you are. This is called your Emmanuel. Who is Emmanuel? God with us. God with us. Our manual is God with us. We are to read a little bit in the morning and read a little bit at night. I'm heavy attacked headaches, forever sleeping. I feel weird. You know what? It's God's burning you through the fire. And man, I got headaches like I've never got before. You know, those are gone. But all of a sudden, when one pain's gone, there's another one on my darn back. That's how it goes. You are to endure everything because God is letting it happen to you to deliver you. It's good. Your pains are good. Believe it or not, your body's fighting you back. The more pains the closer, like Lisa said, the closer you get, the more your body is going to resist and fight you and cause pain. You're dying. Die to the flesh daily. This flesh is garbage, and we all know that. This is where I'm keeping my teachings, right here. We're to die to our flesh every day. There's something new every day, isn't there, Melody? Isn't there, Lisa? Isn't there, Junior? Isn't there, Daryl? There's something new every day, man. Every day. Yeah, I wasn't feeling well when I got home. I was sick. My stomach has been feeling sick for every day. I feel sickness every day in my stomach. It's because what's coming to the earth. Okay? And I hope my body rots to death. I hope there's more pains coming on to me. Come on, bring it on. Now I just challenged God. He's not going to let go of that pain because that pain is what keeps me. It's another thing to keep me going for God. Because I'm getting closer to God. This evil flesh doesn't like it. Now I'm just I just got some sort of sharp pain right through my arm. Crazy. Yes, we all have Jesus. I see it in you all, in every single one of you that are here. Okay? You guys, boom, when I turn it on, there you guys are. Almost instantly. You, Daryl, Lisa, Junior, then my sister is getting more often and more often. Even my sister, Wendy, she was here to say hi. She is seeking the Lord And I'm trying to get her to do it more and more. And if she moves, she's got to move out of that. We can't give up on her, Melody. My poor sister and her grandchildren. Her poor grandchildren, my little nephews and nieces, they got demons running all through them. And their mothers won't answer to Jesus. Those poor little guys don't even have a chance. So, yeah, and I'm so grateful you're taking our other sister in. She needs to get away from that darkness. It's too dark for her there. They're too dark. And I'm sorry for that. I'm really sorry for my sister. Yesterday I cried for her. And when I heard my nephew, my little 9-year-old nephew come in and say to my sister, Grandma, he was bawling. He's like, there's something telling me to do that. I have the answer. I don't. Jesus does. But I performed that to them, and I got kicked in the head. When someone says, I'm going to come and kick you in the face if you teach Jesus anymore, they kicked you in the face. Okay? Just because they said it in words, they meant it inside. What comes out of your heart? Okay? The abundance of your heart is what you are. That's why we have to change what's coming out of our hearts, right? God has her back. Oh, you better believe it. And I have her back every step of the way. That's my only sister. I'm not letting her go into hell without a fight. I'm fighting for my brothers and sisters. Literally fighting for my sisters. I have 2 sisters I'm fighting for. Wendy believes what I said, what I've been teaching. She believes it. My other sister. She just, once she gets in with Mel, you have to make sure you're really talking about God all the time with her. And try not to swear and all that other stuff. And me too, right? We need to pound her with God. We need to get her reading her Bible and studying day and night. That's what the Bible tells you. Okay? If you're not studying a little bit day and night, you're going to lose it all. That's what the Bible tells us. We need to keep strengthening ourselves. We need to get out of this world. Get out of her, my people. That's what that means. Lay the old man on the cross daily and try not to pick it up. And God is testing us. Lead us not in temptation, but deliver us from evil. That's the Holy Father's prayer. Why does it say, lead us not into temptation? Because he allows the temptation to become over us, to test you and strengthen you. You're being burned and purged through the fire like gold, like I said earlier. Okay? So are we going to fail? Oh, heck yes. Even to the extreme, I can't even tell people I've failed. I told you guys one thing today. I went to Mexico. My son-in-law bought a gram of cocaine. And when Melody when I first gave myself to Christ, before that, asked Melody, I was doing it all the time. Okay. And I'm like, yeah, you shouldn't do it. You really shouldn't. He's like, yeah, I shouldn't really do this. I'm with my family. He threw it in the garbage. I went to take the garbage out. Satan said, pick that out. I found it. I picked it up and I snorted it. It didn't even get me high. That's good, buddy. God did, but it was the action behind what I did. Yeah, I know it did. Yeah. And I was doing it quite often, every weekend, Melody. Okay. So he tempted me and I fell. But did I get back up? Yes, because that was like 3-4 years ago. Right? You don't even want to know, bro. especially as a Christian. Don't even think about that, okay? You're so blessed that you haven't done some of the things us older people have. You're just your sin train is small, but you look at what you're going through with your little small sin train. I got a sin train that reaches across the city. So I get faced with many of those, but almost all of them have been taken away from me. I hope I die, just like Melody said too. Because when I die, don't be sad for me. Rejoice, because look where I've gone. That's hard to say until it happens to you, okay? None of us, I don't know, because I haven't really. My other sister, my adopted sister, Jamie Melody, she almost died. She had a virus and it ate. She's still in the hospital for 5 months. It ate her whole hip. And she's younger than Gage. She's 29 years old. It almost killed her. God's calling her. God uses good for evil and evil for good. I hope she realized that. I told my dad, please tell her to come to Jesus. This is a calling from God. Same with my other sister, Wendy. She had a heart attack. I said, Wendy, how many times is God going to bang you on the head before he takes you away? He's only going to call you so many times. Who God calls, he qualifies. So he has called Wendy, and it's a little bit at a time with Wendy. And as soon as she moves in with my sister, you got Jesus. Listen, I don't know what I would do without you guys too. And we're all one. All of us are one. We're coming together as one. Yes, this is a high. When you guys, we save a Muslim like we did a couple days ago, man, I was burning around and I was screaming out. The angels were even screaming out. What are you? You're a messenger of God. You're doing the will of God by giving that message to somebody else. You're fruit, and we're equals. That's right. Not one of us is better. Okay? I'm worse than all of you. I can guarantee you. I've told Melody all of my sins. It was pretty wicked. Okay? So if a guy like me can get saved, anybody can. No, and I don't fall on you. I love you and you're my brother and I'm there to walk in heaven with you. If you die, it's your time. God's taken you. I'm going to praise. I hope. I have a tear. Don't get me wrong. It might be a tear of joy, though, that you're gone home and the suffering for you is over. Man, me, Melody, and Lisa, we're all suffering really bad right now. Yeah. And we, Melody, used to judge people left, right, and center. If you notice the people of the world, when they're talking, they're usually talking bad about someone. And I just go the other way. Actually, the last time I was sitting with these people and they were talking bad about someone, I said, I don't talk evil about people. Okay? I even said that to my daughter-in-law. She's a woman of God. And she was talking about people. I said, I don't suggest talking about people. I don't even like talking good about them behind their back, okay? And then occasionally I do it because you're actually cursing yourself, right? So when you point one finger, two are pointing back at you, and they're being directed from her because now you've cursed her. So now it's going to be turned all around on you. So what good is that? To bring a curse into yourself? No, it's not. We don't do that. God doesn't do that. God doesn't sit there and, well, you did this and you did that to all the other people in the world. But he's going to soon to the evil people. What's been manifesting through is starting to it's manifesting. Look, a 9-year-old child is doing something that I would never even think a 9-year-old child even knew what that was. Okay? Blown my mind. Grandma, it's something in my brain is telling me to do it. And the mom just goes, let's take you to a counselor. You think it's going to leave with the counselor? No, it's going to get worse. It's going to get angry. It's going to feed off that counselor because the counselor is witchcraft. We don't go to counselors. I take no pills. Ask Melody. I take no pills, no drugs, no booze, no nothing. Not even aspirin I'm scared of. Okay? I don't take that crap. I take the pain and I move forward. And some people have to take pills. Okay? You can wean, that'll become time where you're weaned off of it. Pharmakia in the Bible, it talks about it. It's actually wizardry, by the way. Okay. So it's called pharmakia in the Bible, right? Yeah. Hey, man, we're all we have some days. Even Melody, she feels alone. She feels alone. And when she gives somebody something, they attack the hell out of her. But Melody, you're getting strong. That is going to strengthen you for next time. You're going to see, Mel, where it's not even going to bother you no matter what they say. Listen, man, that weekend I went camping and rode my motorbike, man. I wanted to, in 5 years ago, I would have punched 2 people out that weekend. I'm not a weak dude. I know how to fight really good, and I don't want to fight. The only fight I have is against Satan. Okay? I've had many fights in my entire life, just like my sister Melody. We were pretty tough characters. But I can't tough. I can barely walk. So, and God put me there so that I'm humble and meek, so that I don't fight. You get it? He also does things uses good for evil and evil for good, and that shows that. My body is weak. If I got in a fight, I may never walk again. Well, some people say go get surgery. No. I have a doctor. His name is Jesus Christ. This pain is meant to be put on me and suffering because it's not going to be there after. Okay, guys. So what's going to happen is when Mike comes on, I'm going to be on my mixer. He's probably coming on really, really quick. So get ready for the mixer. Okay. I love you, sisters. And I love you, brothers. And I really do. And I mean that out of the bottom of my heart. Lisa, you're solid. Junior, you're solid. Daryl, you're solid. My sister, you're solid. All of you that are here are solid with Jesus. And look at us. We're walking into heaven. All the others are still gone, but there's a remnant. Always here on my channel. Giving me the respect for all the learning I do for you. It's not for me. This is not for me. I don't ask for money. I send Bibles. I got 3 Bibles. So if anybody finds someone that needs a Bible, I got 3 coming on the way. I've already gave one out. I will send them to you, your person that's going to get the Bible. So if you help someone coming to God, I got a Bible to give you. Okay. Thank you. So yeah, Mike's going to probably be on right away. So you see, from the time I woke up, I'm still going. I'm not going to stop. This is how every day is going to be. Even when I rode my motorbike on the weekend, I still got up and read my Bible in the morning. And I read double or triple. It's because I couldn't do it in the morning and night. Because on a long weekend, once in a while, my wife wants me to give her attention. But yet she sat on the other side of the fire. And yet she said, I'm going over here, and left me sitting alone. But I didn't feel alone. Do you get it? I don't feel that anymore. I've got you guys and Jesus. So why should I feel alone? I don't. Don't at all. God bless you guys. Mike should be coming on real quick. Not if he already isn't on. So Mixer will be up. Okay. God bless.